Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be going over the survey form project which was due last week. So just to do a quick rundown of the project and the project requirements, you guys had to make sure your project passed all the tests on FreeCodeCamp, and it had to be published as a real web page in your W3 school space, but it also had to fill all the in-class requirements that were in Blackboard. So it had to collect feedback to help an organization improve for the next year. And the organization either had to be option A, which is an organization that you're involved in, or the Fort Hays Student Government Association. And it had to be either one of those organizations. Anything outside of that caused point deductions. As specified in Blackboard, your survey must gather feedback on what went well, what should change, anything that the organization could have used as a real survey for their members. So in total, their minimum quality requirements, it had to include at least 10 fields or questions. You had to use a mix of question types, so not just yes or no questions. You had to use checkbox, multiple choice, short and long form answers, and it had to feel like a real feedback survey, not just something like with filler questions. It had to be something that an organization could really use to collect valued feedback from their members. So here I have an example of a survey you could have made for your organization. Notice how I have different types of questions and answer fields. So I have a short answer, checkbox, selections, and then I have like a long answer at the end. And these are all types of questions that make the survey feel like it can collect real valuable feedback from whoever is taking it. So you can see I included questions like about open-ended suggestions, communication preferences, what went well and what should change. Also notice how the questions are centered around the members' thoughts and trying to get feedback about the organization. So this is not just a survey for fun. It has to be about the organization to collect feedback from the members. And you really don't want to stick to yes or no questions. You want to stick to questions that are really specific to the organization and the members, because the point of the survey is to help the organization improve for the next year. And also notice how I included at least 10 question and answer options for this survey. The requirement was at least 10. And we really wanted you guys to focus on different types of questions so you could experiment with coding different types of question types in HTML. So if your survey looked similar to this or relatively close to this example, then you probably hit all the marks you should have. So just keep in mind for future projects to read all of the instructions on FreeCodeCamp as well as Blackboard, because Blackboard will have additional project requirements that you'll have to meet. So overall, I hope everybody had a great time doing this project and experimenting with HTML. If you have further questions about your grade, or if you struggled with anything in particular, you can always email me or post in the discussion board.